Hello, fellow humans. Chris here again. So, we have a verdict, and no, my title is not meant as clickbait. It's true. I do agree with the verdict here, and I want to explain that. But first, I want to start off by saying that I wanted to acknowledge an error on my part. A couple videos back, I was questioning why they dropped the gun charges in this case. And I was reading the code of Wisconsin as him illegally carrying. But I was pointed out by a couple of comments, which, by the way, I appreciated that they were respectful. It's not every day that you get dissenting YouTube comments that don't include insults. So I appreciate that. And they were right. So I read into it more, and yep, there's some addendums into that law that in this case he technically was carrying legally. So that explains why they dropped that charge. As to the 5 counts today, I agree with the verdict because I am applying the law as it says in Wisconsin, and the actual nature of the charges themselves. Just to kind of prove my non-bias here when I try to make these assessments. Last year when it was Derek Chauvin, I was kind of discussing about why I felt that he might actually be guilty of second-degree felony murder, because I talked about what the definition of second-degree felony murder actually is, and that I felt that that case fell under that umbrella. Now, moving on to today's case, I agree with the verdict in context of the application of the law as it stands. I don't agree with the law. I am very, very disturbed at the idea that you can cross state lines underage with a weapon and insert yourself into a situation like that, where chaos is already ensuing, and any reasonable person would understand that is inserting flame to the fire, so to speak. There's a problem there, for sure. There's a problem when you look at the history of whites and blacks getting taken into custody, and you look at the difference between white people getting taken in handcuffs, and black people getting taken in body bags for oftentimes far less. Dylan Roof comes to mind. But aside from that, I'm concerned about the precedent here. There's that phrase, the only thing stopping a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Colorado is an open carry state. And about 8 or 9 years ago, this fellow named James Holmes walked into a theater in Colorado. And he opened fire and killed 12 and injured 70. He's now serving 12 life sentences. So presumably, if he had walked into that theater simply brandishing a gun, and a moviegoer saw him and shot and killed him, that person, that good guy with a gun, would be guilty of murder. And if before that good guy with a gun shot James Holmes shot him, he would be acquitted because he was just defending himself, and he had every legal right to carry. But instead, there was nobody there with a gun, and he killed 12 people and injured 70 more. So it seems that the phrase holds true. A good guy with a gun is the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun, unless that good guy with a gun gets killed by the bad guy with the gun who's defending himself from the good guy with the gun. Then it goes out the window. It's also confusing, really. These gun rights activists. It seems to kind of go one way or the other depending on which way the wind blows in any given situation. But it's concerning to me. It's a dangerous precedent. But hey, the good news is now Kyle Rittenhouse can safely, with extreme prejudice, go right back to Kenosha and protect the streets again from all the ensuing riots that are going to be happening now that he was found not guilty. But good, he'll be able to go and help protect and preserve the peace. Anyway, thanks for checking in on me. I'll catch up with you all again very soon. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, don't be afraid to question the consensus.